Hey guys, so listen, if you have a great idea or a great idea for a website and you don't know exactly where to get started, you think that it may be hard, listen, it's incredibly simple. If you're teaming up with Squarespace, they make it incredibly easy to launch a passion project of yours or an idea or an online store. And you don't have to worry about templates too much or the design of your website. They've got so many different possibilities in terms of your website aesthetic. And if you get stuck or confused, they've got a 24/7 award-winning customer support line that's always there to help you. So go to squarespace.com/read for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code READ to save 10% off of your first purchase of a website or a domain. Let them know that we said hello, and let's begin the show. Okay, welcome back, niggas and friends. Welcome back. I am Eddie Griffin.
And I am Misty Copeland. And when you said niggas and friends, I honestly heard Usher, Lovers and Friends in my head. So I was really finna go into it, but I'm gonna spare y'all niggas today.
Let's just pretend that was the inspiration.
Okay.
Welcome back to the show. How's everyone doing? Great, hopefully.
Welcome.
I'm actually feeling pretty good. My mom is in town.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
My mom came to town yesterday. She's staying with me until tomorrow.
Why didn't she come to the studio?
She actually jokingly asked if she could come, and I made this crazy face like, are you sure? And she was like, I just wanted to see what you
not
would say.
know. You know what? You should have brought her over yesterday for the Super Bowl party. Your mama could have came and kicked it.
She was kicking it right in front of my TV, watching it with my uncle.
I love that they're in town. That's so great.
Yeah, unfortunately they came because one of my mom's friends is dealing with something tough, so she came to support her. This is the first time that my mom has visited the city while I'm here.
Right.
And the first time that I've had a place to put a family member. So
there's also that. Yes, I understand.
She's in my room because that bed is softer. And I'm not going to not put her in the room with the better bed and more
right,
room.
Of course. It's your mama.
And so that's been great because don't take offense to this, but sometimes I feel very alone and I subject myself to that. So it's not
you do because you're invited.
I know, but it's not just nobody invites me anywhere or I don't go out and nobody. It's not that. I'm just saying there's a sense of I've got a whole bunch of shit that I'm dealing with and I have to take on the burden of that by myself. And while that is not true, it's just there's a different level of comfort when you're dealing with someone that unconditionally loves you and has been that energy with you since
your whole life,
the beginning.
Right, of course. That makes sense.
So that being in my adult space, that's all, and I have the privilege of being able to look after her and make sure she's straight and all that stuff, even though she's very why are you so pressed? That's been phenomenal.
Oh, I love it.
So
yay, Mama Fury's here.
Let's start the show with some Black excellence today.
Your mom.
Sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
She is.
Because she has put up with my shit.
Counting so many numbers. Oh, she's so smart. Oh, she be mad. We love it.
Matthew and Marnell Goins, or Marnell, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly. Sweetness. I read this on Because of Them We Can, as usual. They're the owners of a company called Puzzle Huddle. It is a homemade puzzle company that is dedicated to children of diverse images and backgrounds and things.
I love
it. In the African American community. So basically the story goes that this dad had two little girls and was looking for a way to play with them and also I guess not be bored to tears. So he started buying puzzles for them online and stuff, and through I guess just that whole process realized, most of these puzzles ain't got nobody on it that look like me or my kids. Like many things in the world for Black people.
Right.
So took it upon himself to try to figure out how to make puzzles, and then teamed up with a a company that actually could manufacture it and stuff like that. So now you've got Puzzle Huddle. You can go to puzzlehuddle.com and see all of the different options they have if you want to buy puzzles for you and your kids. They've got them like broken up into different categories here: 3 to 4 years old, 5 to 7, 7 to 10. And the art on it is really cool. And it just kind of goes through pretty much everything you can think of, like different sorts of jobs with Black kids here, chemists and doctors and vets. They got a Black Jesus puzzle. They've got, little Black baby riding on a dinosaur. And I also love, they have like a sorority collection. So they've got like different. Oh God,
of course they do.
I mean, they went to Howard.
Of course they do. And everybody in each sorority is like absolutely going hard for them fucking puzzles.
Like 5 puzzles a piece.
The puzzles are assembled and on their living room, the dining room table where niggas can't sit no damn way. It's
don't even have a daughter yet, just working on it.
The puzzle is framed. It don't even matter, bitch. Oh, I love it. This is such a cute idea.
Yeah, so go and support them and check out what they've got to offer, because I thought that was really cool. I like stories like that with us in it where we're doing something you may not think of.
Right.
Okay, so let's begin the show today with our hot tops. It's a beautiful dick in the neighborhood, a beautiful dick for a neighbor.
Okay.
Would it be mine?
All right.
Could it be mine?
Could it be? No, I see why you watch your mama in the other room.
I mean, I'm 32.
Does she listen to the show? That would be
Hell
so crazy.
No, by choice.
Listen.
I mean, I asked her not to, but she also knows that I cuss and talk about dicks. So she's just like, having a great time? Cool, great. So happy for you.
Connie definitely asked me for a link a couple weeks ago, and I was like, girl, please stop playing.
That's amazing. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if one day she's just like...
I mean, the fact that you already don't know how to look up the read. So, like, I'm not going to help you.
Right.
Anyway.
Beginning the tops this week. So apparently this is... Okay. They're making a Hamilton movie. Disney.
Oh, yes. I saw that.
Acquired the distribution rights for an alleged $75 cool million.
Go off, Lin-Manuel.
So...
Go off.
Disney's Hamilton the movie is expected to drop in theaters October 2021.
Oh shit.
So if you have seen Hamilton and want to see the film version, there's that. If you didn't have $5,000 to sit
don't do that
in a bathroom and watch Hamilton, here you go. An option for you. It was inevitable. So what can you do?
I mean, and the thing is, like, I know a lot of people don't want like theater productions to be available on tape or DVD or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it takes something away from like actually being there. Of course, plays or musicals are not movies, but they're easily adaptable. And then I know Lin-Manuel said that it's the original cast and they filmed it in the Richard Rodgers Theater where they first went when they got to Broadway. So I feel like we're going to get something that is a lot more traditionally theater based than what we normally get from Disney.
So is this about to be like they're going to film the stage performance?
I think so. I honestly think it's Disney filming the stage performance and maybe, helping a bit
homecoming it
digitally.
Up.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes, nigga. They are going to be homecoming it up.
I'm into that.
But otherwise, I think it's going to be the stage production, because why else bring back, the original cast and do it in the theater? It doesn't make sense.
Just because people will write their medium think pieces.
They will have their think pieces about it.
And I feel that's probably another reason why you don't see recorded or home video versions of a lot of productions, because they go through different casts and stuff like that. And who's to say, oh, well, I really wanted to see Daveed Diggs in it, but he's not in the one I bought.
Right, exactly.
So I want my money back. So like, I'm sure there's a whole host of reasons why, but yeah, I'm interested in, and I haven't seen Hamilton on stage because by the time, first of all, I was invited a few times and I'm not a big musical person.
Right.
So most of the time people have to like drag me by my throat to go and get me to sit and watch one. And then when it's done, I'm like, oh, so glad I saw it. That was actually really great. I just would have never gone on my own.
Right.
But then when it was like, girl, you haven't seen Hamilton. Do you even love yourself? It was like, by that time I was like, girl, nobody finna get no tickets. So
yeah, I think it was like December of 2016, 2017. I don't even remember, but like a coworker of mine was like, oh, I'm sick. I can't go to Hamilton. Will anybody buy my ticket? So I went, and I had never heard the soundtrack. I didn't really know anything about it. I just knew that it was crazy.
Yeah.
And honestly, don't listen to the soundtrack till you see the show.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
This doesn't apply to 99% of y'all because y'all have definitely downloaded it by now, but you shouldn't. And
it's on iTunes, no?
I mean, yeah, it's on every streaming platform at this point. He didn't put out a Hamilton mixtape and everything else since then. It's all kind of shit Hamilton related online. Fair. Yes, a lot of shit. But I saw it with the original cast and it blew me. I mean, I'm telling you, 30 seconds into the show, I was blown away. So I cannot wait for the rest of y'all to see what I saw that night because it was incredible.
Speaking of musicals and Hamilton, I am interested in seeing that In the Heights movie with Anthony Ramos.
Me too. Anthony was so cute when he came on our show.
Very, very nice.
Adorable. In a way better mood than I would be if I had to spend my birthday doing promo and going on tour.
Oh.
Way better. But yeah, he's really cute. And he was in the Broadway production of In the Heights? I think he was. I can't say for sure. But yeah, the In the Heights should be really good. And I think directed by John Cho too. So, POC, supporting POC.
Well, you can go ahead and mark that on your calendar. Ladies and gents.
Listen, because the girls are absolutely going to sell out that first night of Hamilton in theaters. Y'all might as well get the fuck ready.
Hit the pre-sale of the pre-sale.
For real.
So let's talk about some garbage.
Okay, I love trash.
Offset had an interesting week.
No, don't do this because I was on Offset's side.
I am as well.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, great.
But prior to what we're going to talk about, he has already had some issue with the LAPD because there was like a report of someone with a gun at the Grove, that shopping center in Los Angeles.
Oh my God.
I read, they gave the police a description. An a black man.
No, Mitch.
Just 30% black. No, a black man wearing all black clothing.
Right.
I'm like, bitch.
That could be
any nigga.
80% of the niggas in LA.
City?
Right. That's everybody. What do you mean?
Do you know how common all black clothing is? And do you know that black people are everywhere, girl? Like,
that don't make sense. Like, you're not narrowing it down at all.
So they pulled up to Offset in his car and detained everybody in it. And of course they found guns because of rap niggas.
Of course.
And nobody was going to fess up to who the guns were, but he was released later on and was all smiles and TMZ, tact maybe zero. Somebody told me I should call him tact maybe zero because they're not always untrue.
That's true.
They just lack tact. And I feel like that is fair.
That's the thing. Like, a lot of these gossip bloggers just get it wrong. TMZ is usually right. They just fucked up in the way they do it.
Exactly.
So,
and don't give a fuck. And I don't know why Harvey decided to come forward and say anything to us about Kobe Bryant.
Me either.
Girl, fuck
I don't know
right on off.
Who made that decision other than it was certainly for money.
Tuck your head into your gooch and roll down a hill.
Please leave us
that
alone.
Bullshit, bitch.
Thank you, girl.
So, not to further down the calendar, Offset and Cardi B were in Miami, as many of y'all niggas were.
Oh,
and
yes. Y'all was cutting up.
Congratulations if you made it back in one piece.
The fact that your mama got out for Super Bowl weekend.
Peace.
While everybody else was coming in.
Good night. So Cardi and Offset were probably booked at 18 goddamn different places all weekend. But apparently, I think this was Friday morning, Thursday night-ish, something like that. They were at a strip club partying around 3 a.m. at Booby Trap. They were at Booby Trap. Ew. Anyways. So they're up on stage and, having a good time being ratchet. And somebody decided that it was going to be cute and fun and festive to shake up, I guess, and spray Cardi and whoever else was on stage with this champagne that they had.
Yes.
Now, I saw the clip. She seems to be, just standing very still, obviously perturbed. Next thing you know, her husband has leapt forward like fucking Captain Falcon directly into the fucking this audience and just haymakers. So I think they peeled up on out of there promptly after. And I haven't read anything about the police or whatever looking for him. But that was one of those situations, right? That's one of those situations where rap niggas are celebrities getting into, altercations in the street where it's like a lot of the stuff you probably could walk away from. This nigga's defending his wife. Why did you think that it was okay to do some dumb shit like that?
And it was like as soon as he found out who exactly did it,
that's when he left. Right. He
Cardi
didn't
was
just
like,
jump.
no, it's that nigga right there. And then that was that.
Yeah.
I love how she didn't react.
Nothing.
She wasn't like going crazy. She was like, my husband is right here. And if your nigga can't do shit else, he should be able to defend you when some nigga is disrespecting you in the club. I mean, the bare fucking minimum. So just like I wasn't mad when the baby made that little nigga sit down.
Absolutely.
I am not mad Offset punching some nigga behind Cardi because who the fuck do you think you are?
That's just so fucking stupid.
Right. And you wouldn't have did that shit to OT Genesis. So like, leave Cardi alone.
Plus, I mean, Offset's name by definition.
Offset. Off the set.
Means imbalance.
I will go off.
So like at any
set.
moment.
Offset. Woot woot nigga. Don't try me.
Rap nigga Future.
Now why?
Is suing his alleged baby mama for defamation.
Jesus God. Are you serious?
Oh, yes.
Which one is this? I don't even know. Oh, God. Eliza.
This is the one who I don't really pay attention to a lot of these stories when I see them because it's just like
Seraphim?
Future's in an issue with a baby mama. Like water still wet. So most of the time I skim over it, but she's the one who I see in a lot of these recent stories with him feuding with the baby mama. And I feel like at one point maybe he was alleging that it wasn't his baby and et cetera, whatever.
Didn't he do that with a couple times?
Yeah, that's probably like in the Illuminiggas like guidelines. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's a chapter somewhere.
Right.
So apparently he's suing Eliza for defamation. Eliza allegedly gave birth to Future's 7th child. And like, let's keep it about. We know that's a nigga's baby. But anyway.
I mean, probably. There's no reason to not think so.
Right. So he apparently admits that they had a sexual relationship for 2 years between 2016 and 2018. But, and this is my favorite part. He says he would have never slept with her if he knew that she would air out their private affairs and situations.
So then why did you sleep with her if you didn't know her well enough to know whether or not... Right, for 2 years you didn't know this girl well enough to know whether she would air your shit out?
And like, how would you know if she didn't sign an NDA?
Right, so it's like, how many women are you really fucking then? Because everybody else has these bitches signing NDAs. And I don't know why you don't. That don't make no sense.
Okay, but...
Are you fucking that many different women, though? To where you have no idea which one might do what? Jesus Christ.
I read here on Wrap Up that Eliza's been having a great time. And I didn't know about a lot of her partying actions in this nigga's face. Okay. So apparently she went on a podcast. She was giving very descript notes on what his genitals... look and feel like.
Oh, really?
She also, I did hear about this. She also claims that Future hired someone to murder her because she wouldn't have an abortion.
Holy shit.
He claims that is a lie.
I would love to see her proof for that because what the fuck, girl? That's nothing to play about.
It's really
niggas have really done that. And So like, girl, I really hope you're not lying about that.
So he wants damages. He's seeking them because it is causing him emotional distress. And Lori Harvey is tired of hearing about it.
Oh,
so, I mean, God bless everybody involved and this baby that simply just probably wants some formula.
Right. I mean, so if she is lying about him hiring somebody to murder her, I understand why he's suing her. Because that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You can call me a terrible daddy. We know that already. You could call me a terrible boyfriend or fuck buddy or whatever. Again, public knowledge. But, going from that to some Ray Caruth shit is a leap that I'm just not finna let you take on my behalf. Like, I'm not finna let you do that. But on the other hand, you suing this girl, and what does she really have, ultimately?
Mm-hmm.
Like, right, exactly. Not a goddamn thing.
Man, we don't know anything about it.
Some clear heels and that's it. And that's fine. But like suing her, like she really have something to where you gonna get like a payment or you gonna get like damages or whatever.
I think he's just trying to be like, girl, I'm gonna fuck with you because you're fucking with me, so let's do this because I have the platform and the power and the money and all of that stuff.
Right. And
you know, niggas do this a lot whenever a woman that they had a situation with is, you know, on social media and
had her talking about it.
Her story is plump with information.
Right. And again, I don't know why you don't have these people signing NDAs.
They probably just call their attorney and be like, can you just do something?
You're on your 7th kid by now.
I don't even care what it is.
It don't make sense. Why aren't you checking IDs, signing NDAs, having somebody make a photocopy of all that shit before y'all even get started? Like,
I mean, when
niggas don't think shit through.
The whole Dwayne Reed pharmacy is in your Sprite. Then what are you supposed to do?
Okay, you make an excellent
You don't have
point,
a spirit of discernment. You don't have like...
You know what? I've only been high off a lean at one time when I came in the studio and it was a disaster.
Oh, yes.
So I don't know how a future is feeling every day, all day.
Was hilarious.
But I did make some terrible decisions that day, so I understand. So, you know, best of luck to the baby who really deserves it. You grown niggas need to get it together.
Meanwhile, Sierra and Franklin from My Wife and Kids are having their 3rd baby soon. I did not call that man that. The internet called him that.
You just said it to me.
Because it is funny, but that's not my joke. The internet did that, not me. So...
Oh, God. The fact that I can see Franklin growing up to turn into Russell Wilson is killing me right now. Jesus, God.
So, Sierra posted a photo. Where are they? They're in Turks and Caicos.
Oh, are they really?
Oh, well, they were.
I just thought they were in LA. I just thought that picture was in LA.
No, let's tag Turks and Caicos. She's up on this very photographic rocky hill or something and has a very clear baby bump and it's captions number 3. And then Russell posted a similar thing, but it's like the depth of field or whatever here has her blurred out in the background.
Right.
So it's kind of funny looking, but...
Yeah, because his jersey number is 3.
Oh.
So he's probably got like a 3 necklace or 3 ring on or something like that. So he's like number 3.
Has a 3 necklace on.
So yeah, it's probably that. Look at you.
I was like, damn, they're not wasting no time, huh? Because like... I thought that the girl that she had was still fairly young. That girl's going to be 3 in a couple months.
Yeah, she's not that young.
So she's not that young at all.
Yeah, no, they're waiting a pretty normal amount of time.
Yeah, that's a pretty...
But, you know, they getting to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at you.
Listen, if anybody can afford it, it's Russell and Sierra.
That's for damn certain.
Listen, so go ahead then.
That's probably their part of the island that he bought.
Right, and she's clearly like very pregnant, meaning she has kept this secret for a while.
Yes, but I read that she performed this weekend somewhere.
Oh, okay. Beyonce,
yeah, I read that
it's doing the billboards.
Rolling Stone Super Bowl concert in Miami.
Oh, okay.
And I thought to myself, well, you
performed
know,
what?
The girls do it. But she does look pretty pregnant here. I would want to sit my ass down. But that's the thing. Like when I think about pregnancy and how it shifts your organs and bones and all kinds of other weird shit.
Right.
Like I don't understand how every pregnant woman just don't sit down and yell at people because that's what I would want to do.
Yeah. She probably just wants to like stay active. It's good for her. It's good for the baby or whatever. True. So, you know, good for Sierra. I'm so happy that she has found true happiness and real love. I'm glad for her. So good for y'all. And congrats on baby number 3. Can't wait to see the Instagram.
Former rap evangelist Mace posted a very lengthy caption the other day about his former bad boy boss, Puffy Love Combs.
Yes, God.
Puffy Love sounds like it could be like a dessert or a painful sexual position.
Or a radio show host. I'm just saying. Any of those 3.
So Puff had this very impassioned speech during a Grammys event where he called the Grammys out for disrespecting hip hop and black music and all of that stuff. And I'm sure it moved loads of people and things like that. Know who it didn't move? Mason. So
I didn't even watch it because I was just like, you know, niggas that rich tend to make speeches for other niggas who are like close to them in wealth, not for regular niggas.
I was like, you know what? I'd rather you say this than lie. So fine, okay, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, so Mason Bethel was not impressed. And he, has an Instagram page, which was a surprise to me. And then he posted a photo with Meek Mill in the background. Oh, it's because this is Meek Mill's tweet. I was so confused. I was like, why the fuck is Meek Mill in the picture? Nigga, it says Meek Mill right there on this screenshot over it. So Meek Mill apparently tweeted, what's up with all these different race men? Got all these young black kids in slave contracts in the music business. Come get us. Come get with us. You need help fixing your situation. Hashtag DC Rock Nation.
Meek Mill.
It's literally stealing now. We found something we can get rich off of.
Oh, God.
So Mace posts that on Instagram and then captioned it with the follow. Oh, this is lengthy. He first tags Diddy.
Yeah. Oh, I saw this. It was incredible.
I heard your Grammy speech about how you are now for the artist and about how the artist must take back control. So I will be the first to take that initiative. Also, before we ask of other ethnicities to do us right, we should do us as black people better, especially the creators. I heard you loud and clear when you said that you are now for the artist. And to that, my response is, if you want to see change, you can make a change today by starting with yourself. He still sounds like a preacher. Mm-hmm. Your past business practices knowingly has continued purposely starved your artist and been extremely unfair to the very same artist that that helped you obtain that icon award on the iconic Bad Boy label. Run on. Come on. For example, you still got my this is where I should have started because this is where it's like information.
This is the point.
For example, you still got my publishing from 24 years ago in which you gave me $20,000, which makes me never want to work with you as any artist wouldn't after you know someone is robbing you and tarnishing your name when you don't want to comply with his horrendous business model. However, people would always ask, what's up with Mace? So I would be forced to still perform to not look crazy when I was getting peanuts and the robbery would continue. So many great moments in people's lives and music were lost. But again, I rode with you in the face of death without flinching. Ooh, he's cutting deep. And you still wouldn't do right.
Face of death?
Like, my God. I mean, Biggie's dead.
Bad? My God. Oh, I guess so. Damn.
I never said anything because I wanted to wait until I was financially great so I can ensure that I was addressing this from a pure place. I'm going to read what it says every time because it's already hard to keep up.
That's right, goddammit.
And not out of spite. To add insult, you keep screaming black excellence and love, but I know love isn't free. So
go off.
He's at home passing a basket around to nobody. So I offered you $2 million in cash just a few days ago to sell me back my publishing as his biggest artist alive. Again, shade. That always show you respect for you giving me an opportunity at 19 years old. Your response was, if I can match what the European guy offer him, that would be the only way I can get it back. Or else I can wait until I'm 50 years old and it will revert back to me from when I was 19. You bought it for about $20K and I offered you $2 million in cash. This is not black excellence at all. When our own race is enslaving us. If it's about us owning, it can be about us owning each other. No more hiding behind love. You changed. Give the artists back their money so they can take care of their families. So he got that off his chest.
Holy God.
Head, shoulders, knees, toes.
That's right. He sure did. And honestly, when I first read it, we all have kind of heard about the way that Puffy Diddy to the young people has done artists over the years.
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody was surprised by this, but I think if you had told me in 2099, 2001 that this nigga gave Mace $20,000 to do some songs, I would have been like, bitch, I'll take it. Show, don't give a fuck, whatever. Right. But grown me now in 2020 is like $20,000 for all of your publishing, like all of your shit, all of that for $20,000. That's a drop in the fucking bucket for somebody like Puffy. So the fact that this nigga came to him with like an offer of $2 million and the man was like, meet the white man's offer or else it's a no-go. It's just like,
yeah.
You know, this is why you can only celebrate black capitalism to a certain extent.
Oof.
Because niggas will go, the Jeff Bezos route when it's like, you could also go, just the I'm super rich and I give back to the community and I help out route. But like niggas get greedy at a certain level when it's already like, there's no way you ever gonna be broke. If it's no way you ever gonna have to write out a budget list of like, okay, I'm gonna put $60 on my cell phone this week. I'm gonna put $60 on groceries. I'm gonna put $100 on rent. Like if you don't have to budget your shit like that, then it's no reason for you to be greedy about money. He could have easily given Mace that shit.
I saw somebody trying to call Mace out for doing similar things to artists that he created, Harlem World and shit like that.
Who did Mace create?
Well, Harlem World is Mace's group, or was.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a label.
But again, I don't know. I did too. But
all right.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't know anything. It's just the thing about what he was mentioning is that, yes, most of us have heard all of these stories about people who have signed to Bad Boy and their nightmares or whatever.
Yes.
But it was like the $2 million offer and his alleged response of, well, the white man is offering me way more than that. So girl, unless you can do that. Like that's where it becomes, okay, I see what you're talking about and where you're coming from. Because if you just offer this nigga some money from songs that came out 20 some odd years ago and he's like, nah, but the white man is offering me 8.
Yeah. That's really fucked up. Especially when you know like a significant portion, not all of it, but a significant portion of your career is because of Mace. A lot of it was niggas loving Puffy and Mace together.
The height of Bad Boys. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like when you know you got over on somebody, the least you could do is kick them back something now. And the fact that he's offering to give you $2 million, which to Diddy, I'm sure is like finding a quarter in the fucking couch. But he's offering to give you way more than you initially invested. And you're just like, no, it's a white man offering me incredibly, like way more than that. It seems really fucked up to me.
Yeah. Sure.
Like, I mean, and I know there's more people coming out about how they've been fucked over. I know Khalees said something about how...
I was literally going to her
were
next.
You?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it seems like when one person talks about it, then other people feel empowered to talk about how they have also been fucked over.
I think Khalees mentioned her shit with the Neptunes first.
Yeah, I don't know what order it was in. But
this was absolutely in response to that
Rock Nation speech. Yeah. That brunch speech.
Yeah. So... I mean, yeah, Khalees was talking about, she was speaking to The Guardian. Mama lives on a farm in like wine country somewhere. I've seen it
and I love it.
I just endlessly stand.
She's great.
But she did this interview and she mentioned how basically she too was young and signed a contract with the Neptunes and they were playing the fuck out of her and essentially, as she claims, robbing her ass from the money from her first 2 albums. Wonderland and the first one is Kaleidoscope. Both amazing albums. Khalees doesn't really have a bad album to me.
Right.
So, yeah, the thing I liked about this is that you can tell that she's like sort of over it. She's just talking about it. And I like how she mentioned like I don't remember what show it was, but she was watching a show that Pharrell was on stage and she said he did something he's notorious for, which is like making a nod to someone in the audience, like someone famous or whatever. And she's like, I'm obviously not going to yell at you from the audience. You stole my publishing. So she just nods back and that gives everyone this idea that, oh, well, they're cool. Right. Yeah. Even though.
Because I definitely would have thought so.
When they asked, would she work with Pharrell again or something, she was like, what did she say? Like there's being young and then there's being stupid? Something like that.
The fact that I knew, because like it makes sense.
She said there's at that point there's having faith and there's also just stupidity, because she did mention like her faith and how, she's rising above and growing vegetables and cooking her motherfucking ass off and raising her children. And so, but yeah,
that was a lot.
Yeah, and it was very, very prevalent, and I'm sure there's still loads of sharks out here signing young talent to bad contracts and whatnot. I know, in fact, that they are, because there's still artists that come out and say it. But I think it's probably not as crazy as it was in like the 90s and early 2000s.
Oh, definitely not.
Because the girls were I feel like it was just people practice are more connected at that point for everybody to just be stealing from these artists. And like Khalees also mentioned, she was making a lot of money from touring. So the fact that she just wasn't broke or struggling, to have money, she wasn't even considering that I am owed more money than this.
Right.
So yeah, there are all kinds of practices put in place with people where you'll sign a contract and then next thing you know, it's like, oh wow, you actually have been like exploiting me or whatever for this long and crazy time. So something to consider if you were a young creative.
It is. And I feel like a lot of this happened because Tyler, the Creator, thanked Pharrell specifically in his acceptance speech.
Oh, he did?
At the Grammys.
Oh, yeah. He's like Pharrell's biggest stan.
Because they had started playing the music like, please, nigga, wrap it up. And he was like, just wanted to thank Pharrell, if it wasn't for P, I wouldn't be where I am right now. That nigga showed me so much love, blah, blah, blah. As the band was like getting louder, like, please get your black ass off stage. And so then Khaleesi's statement came like the next day or the day after that. So I was like, oh shit. She probably saw that and was like, I mean, cute for you, but let's talk about what Pharrell really used to be doing.
And in fairness, she absolutely mentions Chad by name. It is not just a Pharrell thing. She says the Neptunes, both of them niggas were stealing from me.
Gotcha.
So,
okay, well,
she should have been in the audience when he nodded and she should have been like, I hate you so much right now. I hate.
It has happened to so many. Like, I mean, Rihanna talked about the same thing. She threw out all them albums so she could get out that contract and you niggas could officially leave her alone. So. You
learned the lyrics to the lead single and the next day the next album was out.
That's right.
Mom was like, we're crank, let's do this.
Rihanna put out an album every 7 weeks and I cannot be mad at it.
I got nothing but time. And
knowing
that's
what
why
we know now,
right.
Yeah. So you got to take care of yourself. You got to look out for you first and foremost because these niggas who are quote unquote helping you, your quote unquote big brother, they are looking out for themselves too.
What else do we got here? So now there's this rumor that Megan Thee Stallion and G-Eazy are
good God.
hip hop's new couple.
I didn't know what that was. A G-Eazy.
That's
I had to
Schultz
look it up. I was gonna say, isn't that the same nigga that performed after Britney Spears when Britney Spears had to perform after Beyonce?
Schultz,
yes. Still haven't really figured out who that is, but I saw this video.
He's I was literally about to say backing it up. That is not the right song. That is Partisan Fontaine.
That is Partisan Fontaine.
He's the other Cardi B song. Cardi B gave him a hit record. What is it called?
What?
Cardi B gave him a hit record where he said, stirring up the pot jambalaya, and I wanted to pluck out both of my eyes and stomp on them.
I know what it is, but you have to guess.
It is and A$AP Rocky is on it.
It's also an iconic black rap group. Sect.
What?
Yes. The name of the song is also the name of a Southern black rap collective, a label, if you will. A label whose head was interviewed on Solange's A Seat at the Table.
Is it not Backing It Up?
No.
I'm still thinking of the Partisan song.
Okay, the music isn't helping. Yeah, it's not at all.
I really can't remember.
Nigga.
Oh, that's what the fuck the song is called. Why is it called? Do they ever say that in the song?
Oh, I don't know. I've never heard the song, but it's
You've never heard that song?
No Limit featuring A$AP Rocky and Cardi B. So
I find that hard to believe.
Heard it. Okay, well,
okay.
I mean, I could play it right quick and see if I recognize it.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
So they were on Instagram, very cuddly during this Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah.
Jeezy's from Oakland. Okay. He's 30.
Oh, well, that explains a lot.
Does it? It doesn't explain much for me.
Oh, it does for me.
I mean,
why he was sucking this black girl's face on Instagram.
Literally.
I was like, this actually isn't sexy.
And kissing.
Not at all sexy.
Thick thighs are wrapped around him and they're all cuddled up.
Yeah.
He was leaving hearts under her pictures and
all that shit.
All kinds of. Oh no, he posted a picture of her.
He posted this video on his stories. Which means she let him.
All right. So They were having a great weekend and Lord knows where the rest of that is going. Apparently Jeezy has or had very recently a girlfriend, some model.
Oh no! Somebody who didn't find out that she was single till this video came out.
She reacted to Megan and her Tina Snow bunny by posting a video on her story with that Thought Box song playing in the background, the remix, the Far Superior.
Is that Roddy Ricch?
No, it's a bunch of.
Oh God!
It's a bunch of rap women
with all the dykes.
And that
yes.
Are they all dykes?
Well, no, sorry.
There's Young M.A.
Yeah, I saw Young M.A. and Dreezy, and I just let it go from there. But
okay,
it is not the song by Dykes. Sorry about that.
But basically, she alluded to him having thought cock, which is, I guess, part of the lyric of that record.
Yes, I did see that.
So another nigga you rap better than. You know what, Megan? I am in full support of you until I can't no more. And this isn't the can't.
Yeah.
You know,
Go
if you're
on,
happy,
white boy. Yeah.
then I am happy. And good for you, madam.
Doja Cat got some random white boy too.
But
who looks like I don't even think he's famous. Or if he is, I don't know who he is. He might be LA famous, but I don't. Yeah, who is Johnny Utah? I don't know.
I don't know. Honestly, I could take Doja Cat or leave her.
You know, I liked so I guess there's a new Harley Quinn movie coming out. And they had a
song.
Did you really? All of the verses?
Like, I know that you're a Nicki Minaj stan, but goddamn, girl. Like,
oh, I was about to say, you know who is. Damn. But yes, Doja is definitely doing Nicki, 100%. But I thought the song was cute enough, and I have liked the Doja songs that I've seen.
I like a lot of her songs.
Yeah, I just don't really know how to feel about her overall.
Exactly.
So I kind of just stay out of it, just like I stay out of the City Girls, because I'm like, oh, I don't really know about you. But
see, and I have even through that a closer connection to them just by them being damn near every girl I grew up or went to school with.
Yeah, you would, because those are your cousins, those are your neighbors, those are your classmates.
Trina's children. Like, right, I feel like
those are literally your cousins.
I get that a little bit more.
Yeah, that makes sense. But she got some white bread ass boyfriend too, so I'm sure niggas are fully sick about it. But
happy and safe, then cool.
You know, oh well, niggas is out here with white girls and non-black girls every damn day. So I really don't care if Meg is fucking some white boy. Especially
because she likely won't be. Well, never mind. Let me not say that.
Won't be with him for long?
Well, that too. But I was just say, like, the number of black women who date non-black men and then absolutely piss and shit all over black men in terms of how they speak about them,
right?
In comparison, but women do that shit too. Like,
they do,
not nearly as often, but they absolutely do it as well.
I was gonna say that exact same thing. Like, I think if you looked at the numbers overall, black women who date white men do it way less often than black men who date white women. But they definitely both still do it.
Yes.
Like, not until I found my white king did I decide that I was worthy of love. When it's like, girl, don't do that. You found a white boy who works for you. Great, sis. Super. I am literally not mad at it. But don't act like a black man could not have given you that because he's black. Like you only found love because he's white. Because that is trash.
Also look at some of the choices that you make.
I mean,
because
I wasn't even going to do that, but yes.
Some of us be dating the same nigga over and over and over again and then make a sweeping generalization. And the same goes for men, so.
I can't handle this.
But anyway, out of that teapot.
I cannot handle this. You are killing me.
So, Terry Crews and his date-faced ass decided to issue the wackest faux apology. I think that's what they're called. I think it's like an actual word now.
Somebody tagged me and said they thought that he did that because he listened to the read.
Girl,
I
please.
highly doubt it.
So do I. But if you did, I'm glad you heard it.
I'm glad you heard it. I'm glad somebody played it for you. But it was more likely the thousands upon thousands of black women who hit you up on various social media platforms, if not millions, and told you how fucking wrong you were.
Yeah.
It's more likely to be that.
Or a manager, a publicist, someone who was like, now when we said to like calm down and tread lightly, this wasn't it. Going after Gabrielle Union, who did nothing but support you, was foolish on every level. Nothing. But then also the apology was very bad. Right. But white people were happy with it, and I guess ultimately that's all that matters. Of course. What the fuck? Who gives a shit how they felt about it? I mean, but I'm saying, probably Terry. Mm-hmm.
So
that's a win, I'm sure, for him.
Right.
And
I'm sure he feels
Red Bull
better.
Rebecca.
I bet it was Rebecca who was like, God damn it.
First of all, nigga, like, you know, she went,
so you don't care about our daughters? You don't give a fuck about their opinion, nigga?
I
really?
didn't tell you to say a goddamn thing about this shit, nigga. And twice your ass hit the streets with my name in your mouth like I'm stupid. You will fix it and you will do it now.
Rebecca was like, God damn it, black girls are already guessing whether or not I'm black. And now you gonna have these bitches out here dragging me because you want to say something the fuck stupid?
He went on Twitter and said, I told Kevin Hart a while ago. Already. Why are we
Kevin
here?
Hart.
And tagged him.
I know Kevin was like my nigga. I'm recovering from like neck surgery. I've been cheating on all my wives. How dare you?
Like, can you leave me alone?
Oh, God.
I told Kevin Hart a while ago he needed to acknowledge the pain of other people. Right now, I have to do the same thing. I want to apologize for the comments I made. That's not an apology. I realize there are a lot of black women hurt and let down by what I said and also by what I didn't say. I hear you, I respect you, and understand you. I am sorry, and I am here to support you. That's closer. I spoke from my own personal point of view without first taking into consideration someone else's experience. Now, here's where I call bullshit.
Right.
You didn't, it wasn't that you didn't take into consideration someone else's experience. You literally spoke in like, you spoke like like contesting someone else's experience. You know what I mean? Like you could have, like, not taking into their experience would have just been like, it was like, I have a blast at America's Got Talent. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't experienced those things. You went on to then say, it's the most diverse place in the world, girl. And they have Korean barbecue on Thursdays. They have a soul food Friday every second month. So every second month.
Saturdays for those of you who work the weekends.
Right.
All kind of shit.
Sometimes we have baklava. I just feel like, you know, what is she talking about?
Right.
She didn't issue a statement, so why should I say? Like, it wasn't that you didn't take her experience into consideration. You basically spit directly into the face of her experience. Exactly. So this, again, no cigar, sir. And I saw Dwayne. I almost said Dwayne. I forgot we're past that.
Yeah, we're letting it go because we're on his side now. He's a good dad.
It's hard not to.
He's a good dad.
Dwayne tweeted, somebody please take Terry Crews' phone.
Yeah, I had to like that. That was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, that was...
Because what I really loved about it was that Terry had said in his original rant that he wasn't going to protect nobody else. He would let their boyfriends and husbands protect them.
You doubled down on the backlash for a while first.
Like, so a black woman has to have a husband or a boyfriend in order to be worthy of protection? You can't just do that as our fucking... brother? You can't just do that?
Just because the community would be better off.
Just leave it up to some other nigga? It was like, that was already fucked up enough, but then I love that Gabrielle didn't say shit, did not react at all. Her husband, since you want to bring the husbands into it, got on Twitter and directly added your ass and was like, please sit the fuck down, because what is this bullshit?
Please
girl, log off, girl. Go find something else to do. I know Rebecca is displeased. Maybe go do something with Rebecca, because I know she cannot be happy with this bullshit. But leave my wife alone, because this ain't it either. He could have stopped, actually, before that one point, and I would have been like, this is not half bad.
Right.
But, you know, whatever. I still love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I love the
Brooklyn Nine-Nine ain't do nothing to nobody.
But I'm just saying, like, I love the character of Terry, and...
He don't write that character? I mean, I can't speak.
No, I don't think he does. But like...
I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
It's just that I feel like Terry Crews is one of the ones who had me fooled. Like, it wasn't just all the roles he's played. It's the fact that he seemed to actually kind of be something like that same person in real life. Obviously not the exact same. He doesn't eat yogurt all day and babysit his twins. But like, I just kind of had the feeling based off his social media presence, and especially after the Me Too shit.
Yeah.
That Terry Crews was more like the characters he has played.
And he was enveloped in support from people 100%. Like Gabrielle Union and fully and like literally from embraced Gabrielle it.
Union. Yes. So it's just like...
So of course one would think, oh, right.
I just feel so blindsided. Like, God damn, if you can't trust Terry Crews, who the fuck can you trust? Like, what is going on out here? But again, I don't know these niggas.
Human.
Right.
Human.
And human. So, but I loved that Mr. Wade stepped in and was like, please log off. We don't have time for it.
And, you know, Kavia's great. Mama was
listen, Gabby's new New York and Company shit is coming out.
I mean, I just continue to stand.
Oh my God, Gabby posted some video of Kavya where she was just like on a rampage, just going through the house being like, this is mine, that can go. Yeah. This is also mine. Like, that baby
she looks like so much fun. I saw a video, I don't know where they were, probably a Super Bowl party or something, like a day party. And she was behind the DJ booth, like, and they put like she was obviously, as children will, messing with all the little switches and knobs and stuff. And then they put the headphones on her and she was like, she seemed like fully invested, having a great time. And then the DJ gave her the microphone and she held it and was like, I didn't ask for this. Like her,
I'm here to do the music. I'm not here to talk.
Right. I'm not one of those DJs. Like
I literally just spin records.
Doing
Please
my mixing.
My craft.
You can actually take this from me.
This is what I do.
Nobody's hype.
I'm not okay. This is not. I'm not Flavor Flav.
You have to see her face. She literally was having a great time. He gave her the mic and she was like, "Take this." Like, get this away from me.
Because I don't have time for that.
What did you expect me to do with this?
Leave me alone.
Well, that's about it for Hot Tops this week. We're going to take a break and then we'll come back with your letters. So this week's episode is being brought to you guys by HelloFresh, which always comes in the clutch, especially in times like this.
Yes.
When it may be a little cold outside, although today is freakishly warm, global warming. But anyways,
right.
Maybe you don't want to move around and have to worry about too much and grocery shopping and all that stuff. HelloFresh makes it easy. You can get mouth-watering seasonal recipes and pre-measured ingredients delivered right to your door. With America's #1 meal kit, they make cooking at home fun, easy, and affordable. HelloFresh cuts out stressful meal planning and prepping so you can enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in just about 30 minutes or even 20 minutes with their quick recipe options. There's something for everyone, including low-calorie, vegetarian options, family-friendly recipes every week. They've got more 5-star recipes than any other meal kit, so you'll get something delicious and finally be able to break out of your dinner rut. HelloFresh designed to fit your lifestyle. Easily change your delivery days or food preferences and skip a week whenever you need to.
Yes, it's actually so clutch because as somebody who lives alone, I don't have no kids or spouse or whatever else to feed. Like, grocery shopping is great, but every recipe feeds like at least 4 people. Yes. It is absurd the amount of food that I make. It's like, I would have to eat this every day for the next 9 days.
Regardless.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So it's like HelloFresh just makes it so much easier to get something cute for me and switch it up so I'm not bored eating the same thing all the time. You could try it out. Just go to HelloFresh.com/TheRead10 and use code TheRead10 for 10 free meals. That includes free shipping. So again, HelloFresh.com/TheRead10. The code is TheRead10, as in TheRead10. That's to get 10 free meals. That includes free shipping. So again, HelloFresh.com/TheRead10. Try them out. Let them know we sent you. And let's get back to the show.
Okay, so it's time now for the listener letters.
It sure is. Send your questions to asktheread@gmail.com. We may read them aloud on the show. We got a response from a social worker who does long-term care. His name is Scooter. And he wrote back about the woman who is taking care of her mother who's a drug addict. And I don't know about this. And I might get in trouble because I've been, giving myself pedicures with her money or whatever.
Right.
So he said, while some of her purchases are morally questionable, there is a precedent for those having to assume responsibility for a parent or developmentally delayed loved one receiving compensation and reimbursement. In my state, someone who is a legal guardian assumes responsibility for a person medically and in a limited financial capacity and are able to receive $60 a month for the guardianship and reimbursement for their out-of-pocket. Given her mother's history, I doubt anyone would look askance at errant purchases. I doubt she is in jeopardy of being charged with elder abuse. Much love, Scooter. So thank you, Scooter, for that, because I do not work in social work or anything of the same. And I was just like, oh shit, girl, I understand why you spooked. But it makes sense also because I know like with Medicare or Medicaid or whatever, you can like select a loved one to be your caregiver and they get paid or something like that. So it makes sense that you would be entitled to something. But also I feel like the greater message of you don't have to do this if you don't want to is still like super, super relevant. So thank you for that. We also had a question about The Circle on Netflix. Have you watched it?
I have seen the first episode.
Okay, so then we won't get into it.
Right. I already know who I stand for. And you already know who I stand for.
The Circle is an incredible show, if you ask me. It like kind of turns reality TV on its head.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at it like from psychological point of view. And so it's so incredibly interesting.
It is very
I really
interesting.
love the show. I tweeted about wanting to be on it. And Michelle, I just want you to know I was dead ass serious about that. So like when y'all casting, let me know. I will clear my fucking schedule because I love the show that much. But we won't get into spoilers and all that until you've watched it. Okay. And then also The Good Place. Did you watch the series finale?
I did not watch the series finale.
Oh my
yet.
God.
I'm behind. I tried to catch up this weekend.
Okay.
I had to turn in some
you had
work,
your mama, right?
and
You
my
was
mama
working
was
and your mama
there.
came. So that's fine. That's fine.
And Link has been acting an absolute nut because
I bet.
she's just like, company. And she like...
It's people in my house.
Right. And she usually will like sleep in the bedroom with me when I go to bed. So like, now that my mom is in there, she was kind of like, at first she was kind of like, where do I go?
Sleep?
Do I sleep in this room or do I go
doesn't
here?
make sense.
And she, my mom was in bed. She like came in a room with me for a second or whatever, and she was like, "I'm gonna go." Tipped her ass out of the room and spent the night in the other room with my mom. I was like, Judas.
She was like, so.
And my mom's never been like a crazy dog person, especially small dogs.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're both like super into each other is a joy.
Right. The fact that Link was like, it's cute out here with you, I guess, but gonna go hang out with your mom.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, I will say, I feel like The Good Place finale was the best finale I've ever seen for any TV show ever.
Really?
I was thoroughly impressed. And I honestly feel like The Good Place is my favorite TV series of all time.
Really?
I do. I feel that way. Because I always had an idea that the afterlife worked like this, and it wasn't the way I've heard as, like, for the past probably 8 to 10 years, I've thought, it's probably not exactly like we've been told as Christians.
Oh, I'm sure it's nothing like that.
But I grew up with the idea that if you messed up, you were going to burn in hell for all eternity.
Right.
And I just don't feel that way anymore. I feel like it's something a lot more fair that takes into consideration what you did on earth and where you came from and what trauma happened to you and all this other stuff.
Like, I've always considered hell to be more of a place, less of a place of fire and brimstone and all of those things, unless that's just hell for you. Yeah. Hell to me is like...
coming back to earth.
Like eternity in just miserable situations that are individual to you, especially because, I mean, whatever. We can talk about
hell for me is repeating the same mistakes over and over and never learning from it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just felt like the show is incredible. And I felt like they wrapped it up.
Phenomenal.
I felt like they wrapped it up literally perfectly, my nigga.
I'm excited to see how.
I also finished BoJack, but I'm not sure how I feel about the ending. I'm going to watch the last couple episodes again because I was kind of distracted.
I've never gotten into BoJack Horseman.
Oh my God.
I've been instructed to watch it 1,000,000 times, and I don't not want to watch it. It's just that, like, I'm behind on like literally every show I watch. That makes sense. And have been so focused on all of these other things that I'm doing. So it's just like, I remembered actually like a week ago, fuck, the Good Place series is like the series finale is going to be like next week. And so I was trying to catch up on it. And so I'm like maybe halfway through this final season. And it's just, it has never stopped impressing me in terms of what they do, like the way that they basically visualize the afterlife and even like life and also then how there are there are like no bounds to what they will do, like, because almost anything is impossible, or anything is possible in this world. They can say crazy jokes of, like, about how people in hell have mouth fleas, or like this crazy penis flatteners, and I was the one who would inflate them again so they could be flattened.
Yes, Ted Danson is a fire squid,
right? And they will actually use effects and things to visualize a lot of this craziness, and it's so much fun. So and also what is his name? Is his name Manny?
Oh, yeah.
Who plays Jason?
Manny Jacinto. He's so fine. So fucking fine.
I saw a clip of him in something else that he did where he has like a mustache.
Yeah. I know a lot of y'all got very warm. Manny is very fine.
He is.
So they have the finale, which, like I said, I truly love and has cemented this show as my absolute all-time favorite.
That is really impressive.
It is, because there's a lot of shows I love, but The Good Place I feel is as flawless as a TV show can be.
It's really up there for me. Like, I used to compare it to Community a lot, and the fact that Community was also a show that had very little bounds and would do a lot of really crazy shit.
That makes sense.
But I don't know which one. If one is further than the next, it's by a notch.
Right. I get that. The Good Place just combines so many things that I care so much about, whereas Community, it was harder for me to get into.
Yeah.
But so watch it, definitely, because they have like an extended episode, first of all, thankfully. Thank God. And then they have like a short 10, 15 minute interview with the whole cast and Seth Rogen.
Oh yeah, I saw I saw them do a talk show thing together, and everybody was emotional. I didn't watch it. I just saw like I saw the video on YouTube.
Yeah,
and it was like titled "Emotional Cast Talk About da." And I was like, oh, I want to watch this right now, but I haven't seen the finale. So
well, there's no real spoilers. I mean, kind of, but not really.
I'll be done with it probably.
But yeah, also
by, like Wednesday.
Like that 10 minutes is packaged into the show, so it will be there at the end.
Okay.
It is like if you watch it on Hulu, you will see that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I just was blown away. I love it, but we'll wait for you to see it and then we'll talk about it.
It's a really, really good show. They all do so well. And I'm going to look up, so maybe your face doesn't give me a reaction that might be a spoiler, but I want a Janet spinoff. And honestly, it doesn't even need to be a spoiler, because regardless of what happens with Janet or doesn't happen with Janet, we could do a prequel. So that's it. And so now let's move on to the next part.
Yes. So our first question this week comes from Kendra, who says, I'm going to get straight to the point. My ex-husband and I are both fine-ass black doctors.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Bitch. She didn't say the bitch. I just included it for a fact.
Right. I mean, that's how it felt.
We've been married for 2 years, together for 8. Our careers are great, and we've been trying for our first baby. We're both 33.
Okay.
We had the careers, the house, the cars, and no student loan debt. Life
married
was
to medicine.
Damn near perfect. And if we weren't working, we were fucking.
Oh, okay.
Sounds perfect.
I mean, I haven't heard anything bad yet.
I say all this to say that life was as perfect as humanly possible until something happened.
Right.
I am an OBGYN who works at a private clinic, but one night a close friend of mine asked me to cover his patients while he went on his anniversary date with his husband. My husband said he was at work, so I had no need to let him know that I was called in to deliver a baby.
Okay.
Imagine my surprise when I walk in to meet my patient and my husband is in the room kissing her forehead. I do believe I died on the inside, but I maintained professionalism and I delivered a beautiful baby girl who looks everything like I imagined my daughter would look, which is a spitting image of her daddy. Throughout the 6 hours it took to deliver this baby, I acted as if my husband was a complete stranger.
Okay, Tyler, you didn't have to write this to try and prove a point. Like, you clearly felt away and you wrote this in because you're trying to prove that you can. Okay.
This sounds incredible to me. Like, I don't know how you could just sit there and act like your husband is not.
There wasn't a scalpel in reach.
This is what the email says. I acted as if my husband was a complete stranger, and as soon as I could, I left and went to my sister's house where I've been for the past month. I filed for a divorce, and I blocked all communication from this nigga. Now here is the motherfucking bitch-ass fuck my life kicker.
That's not it?
It isn't. I just found out that I'm 5 weeks pregnant, and I do not want to keep it. My family and friends are against my decision, but I have no interest in being a single mother or spending the next 18 years co-parenting with that man, and I will never take him back. This may sound selfish, but I am too angry / miserable to bring a person into this world. I honestly have no love left in me. I am broken and empty inside, but not really because there is a fetus in me. Okay. I have a therapist who I used for premarital therapy, and I am booked to start seeing her again next week, the day before my scheduled abortion. What do you guys think? Am I being irrational here? Any advice from some impartial people would be great. Thanks, Kendra.
Are you fucking serious, Kendra?
So Kendra sent this like as soon as we left the studio last week. So at this point, I think she's probably had her abortion and or seen the therapist. But if this is a real letter and not just something somebody randomly made up, because it sounds a little incredible.
I'm really okay, because did the nigga just be like, oh, hey, woman, I don't know?
Like, did he not freak the fuck out? Like, did nothing happen? Like, literally neither one of y'all said nothing and you just delivered this baby like it was nothing?
And the woman who you pulled a human being out of doesn't know that. That nigga's daddy is your husband?
Right. So it sounds very crazy to me, but also we have read very crazy letters and then saw people in person at shows and they were like, oh, that was me. Yeah. And we're like, what? That was your real life?
Yeah, and you know what? I be in the house. Yes. So sometimes it's just like hard for me to believe that stuff happens.
Right. So I'm going to assume you're telling the truth and just say, I don't blame you for wanting to have an abortion.
I'm pro-choice. So, I mean.
Right. And if honestly, I can say all the things in the world about how you make more than enough money and you can support and love a baby or whatever. But you said you feel like you don't have no love left inside of you and you feel broken and empty and all that. And that's not fair to a brand new human being.
It's just not.
It's not.
Because having to deal with that, even if it's just for the first few years of the kid's life, can make an everlasting impression on them. And it's not fair that this fuck nigga placed y'all in a situation where now you'd have to contest with that. So while anybody could be like, nah, she should have that baby, I can respect everybody's opinion on it because it is a complicated subject. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm pro-choice and it's your body and your mind. And I feel like you are well within your right, especially within these ridiculous
circumstances.
Zayn-like circumstances.
Okay?
These Eric Jerome Dicky ass circumstances.
6 black chicks meets the shade room ass bullshit.
With a little bit of the neighborhood
like, this is some, morning radio show crazy letter coming through or whatever type of shit. So if your husband really put you through all that, then I don't think it's a soul in this world who couldn't understand why you'll never take him back and you for damn sure don't want to then give birth to his child. Like, I don't think there's anybody who couldn't reasonably understand why you feel that way.
Right.
So I don't think you should carry any guilt about it. I'm so glad that you are going to therapy. And, if you know that cheating is a deal breaker for you and you willing to give up everything that you had because fuck that nigga.
The nerve of this nigga. You know your wife is an OBGYN. You know she is.
Yeah, it just goes to show, like, these niggas
don't care
and could have whole ass medical degrees and be dumb as fuck. It just don't make no sense.
I mean, we've said before, like, you can be educated and still be stupid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What's his name? The HUD secretary, Ben Carson.
Oh yeah, that's a prime example. Literal brain surgeon
and
that is one of the stupidest motherfuckers I have ever heard
of. Ignorant dumb shit at the exact same time.
Wow, girl. Well, yeah. I mean, it sounds like you've got your pieces set up. You've got therapy, and again, I feel like it's your decision what you decide that you do. But wow.
I mean, we have always maintained that we can't tell you what to do with your body. Just like we can't really tell you to break up with a nigga. We're just suggesting it because it seems like a good idea.
Right.
Whatever you decide to do with your body is up to you. But if you're saying things like, I feel like I have no love left inside of me and you're pregnant, then... Woo! Again, not telling you what to do, but girl, a baby don't deserve that.
And isn't pregnancy enough and emotional and...
especially, like, y'all have been... I don't know if she said they've been trying for a baby, but like...
Well, she did.
See? And you're both 33 and you had this perfect life and all that. Like, you have a lot to grieve right now. So maybe, adding a baby who might come out looking exactly like his or her damn daddy. It just might be, listen,
they will.
Because you just saw this one that you delivered.
Yep.
So you I fully understand you taking care of yourself. And so I will tell you to do what is best for you and not worry about what anybody else has to say about it.
In the meantime, this part is for your sister. Now, what time are we riding out? Because you need to have somebody gas up the F-150.
That's right.
And punch it down the pavement.
That is right.
And don't stop until you in that nigga's driveway.
Woo, shit. That is so real. Like, for all your cousins, girl, when do we ride? Because this nigga is wild.
Simply have to beat your ass.
Like, I just don't even know what else to do here. How dare you?
I don't have a choice.
Again, you have the kind of patience and calm that I could never pray to possess if you really sat here and delivered this man's baby like it wasn't nothing. Because
my word,
could not ever do it. But best of luck to you with whatever you decide to do. Again, very happy.
Woo, this letter.
Are you really?
Yeah, I like doing it sometimes.
Okay, next question comes from Jasmine. Damn, who said you can use my last name too? I don't care. Which means she's set up.
like they be the most tired ass motherfuckers. Here's my social security number.
Right.
My blood type is O.
My zip code right here. All right. So Jasmine says, my baby daddy and I have been together for about 4 years and we have a 2-year-old daughter. This is my only child and his third. When we had our daughter, we agreed to alternative years to be able to claim her on our taxes. And this year is supposed to be his year, but I have reneged on our agreement. Needless to say, he is pissed. So pissed that he says he's moving out and will stop helping me pay for daycare. Before y'all tell me I'm not shit, hear me out. I've made more money than him for as long as we've been together. Okay. When we had our daughter, I was out on maternity leave for 5 months. And when I returned, he stayed home with her 3 days out of the week. Mm-hmm. He had a schedule that worked out perfectly. And we were actually splitting everything, time and money, down the middle. So it made sense. His job rotated schedules every few months. And while that was a challenge, it was something we could always plan for and work out. Fast forward to June 2019, when our daughter was about 18 months, he told me he got a job as an interstate truck driver and that he was leaving for training in July. I never even knew applications went out, and all of a sudden I had to get adjusted to life as a single parent. I would also like to add that he put in his 2-week notice immediately when we definitely could have used that income during this transition. Real. We see him about once a month, and he still has yet to be in a comfortable financial space. He contributes more to the $800 a month daycare ticket and buys diapers whenever I ask, but that's really all he's been held responsible for on a consistent basis. I pay for all the things that come up outside of that, and not to mention, I do not have a partner here to help me. It's real.
Enough said.
I have to buy the fucking groceries with a toddler in the car begging for fruit snacks and goldfish.
Because they want them. And they're not
because she wants them at that exact moment. Even though there's a variety of these items at the house.
You're going to give them to me now. You're not going to give them to me now. You're going to give them to me right now.
Bitch, we're not leaving this aisle without the goddamn fruit snacks, or I will embarrass you.
When I was younger,
if you want to.
When I was younger and I would see parents like with their kid out in public somewhere and they're bawling and wilding out over something small and they just give it to them.
Yeah.
I'd be like, why would you give it? Like, no, they need to learn how to like behave.
Girl,
and know
because sometimes you've had a long goddamn day.
And like me now,
yes.
In the public's like, I'll give it to him. Like whatever it is.
You need help opening that? I got you. Like it is. No,
Dustin can like, do you know what I'm about to say?
I think I do.
Anytime that we would be out somewhere in public, like on the street, and there's a baby crying, Dustin would he would yell like, give him what she wants.
Damn sure do. And I get it.
That shit is hilarious.
Oh my God, that's so real. Because like, girl, a 2-year-old do not want to hear it. We got it at the house. Give it to me. If we don't have it, if we have it at the house, why don't we have it right now?
Demand the iPad.
I say all this to say that the time and effort is just as, if not more important than the $300 or so that I get from him on a monthly basis. I proposed to him that I file with our child again this year and break him off some of my refund, and he lost it. He went off on me telling me I'm selfish and all I care about is money. He says he's moving out and will not help me pay the rent. Although I know I'm within my rights to claim her, I don't want this to be the thing that causes our relationship to fail. But then again, I'm like, if this is the way he reacts, should I just send him on his way? The damage might already be done, but what do y'all think I should do? Should I go ahead and let him claim her since that's what we agreed to? Or should I stand firm in my decision to claim her since so much of everything falls on me? Please help. Jasmine IDC if you use my real name.
I mean,
go off.
I don't know. I feel like either one is fair here. I know which one I would do, which is claim a child. But I feel like if you go try and compromise with this nigga for whatever else reason, and go ahead and let him claim her, I would be firm in like, you need to understand and respect all of what I'm doing, right. All of the shit that is on my shoulders, and something needs to be done moving forward. Exactly.
The fact that he seems to not understand that him being gone all the time, driving a truck, means that you have to have sole physical custody of this baby. You by yourself with a 2-year-old day in and day goddamn out. Like, it's not just about the money. And yeah, you kick in more than you used to for daycare, which is great. But like, taking care of a toddler is, you have to be on your job the whole time that little nigga is awake. So
I don't know how y'all do it.
It's just so much work. And the cost of another person being there to help shoulder that responsibility.
Yeah.
It is like, you just really can't even put a price on it. So, again, like...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily...
it's hard because I feel like the fact that he reacted like this means that you should just be like, oh, fuck it, move out then, because you an asshole. Like, how do you not understand that you gone all the time and now all of a sudden I have to take care of this baby by myself? Yeah. He is a dickhead. But also, I just saw some hypothetical, thank y'all for teaching me that word. Wow. On Twitter a couple of days ago where it was like, some nigga was giving his baby mama $450 a month, and then she put him on child support, and all of a sudden she was getting $183.
I saw something about this.
So I guess most of his money was drug money, or he had other kids, or she made more than him. It's a million different things that could have happened. Right. So I don't want you to put him on child support and then all of a sudden get less. But if he's a truck driver, you probably won't. Like, does a nigga sell drugs? It's something you'd ask yourself. Does he have multiple kids? Because that will also count. Like, you should Google how child support is calculated in your state in case he really does leave. Because the fact that he's like, oh, well, I'm going to move out then since you going to claim our child is kind of ridiculous. Yeah. Like, don't y'all share a household? Wouldn't this money go to the household? Right. Wouldn't it go to the baby and diapers and just making sure the home was good for everybody? Like,
I'm not going to the fucking All-Star game.
It's almost like he was going to take the refund check and blow it on hoes on the road or something.
That's what I was lost.
Niggas. But I also understand not wanting to like piss him off enough to where he moves out. It's a shitty position for you girls to be in.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna break up with him this one. I feel like either way, I think it's fair, whatever your decision is. Same. But he has to respect where you're coming from. It can't just be like, he has to.
The fact that he's like mad at you and threatening to move out and being like, oh, I'm not going to help you with the rent or whatever. Like, so are you going to take the baby then? I bet you're not offering to do that while you threatening to do every goddamn thing else. Exactly. I bet you're not threatening to take this child and put me on child support. You know why? Because niggas know that taking care of a baby is a real ass responsibility. It takes real ass work.
And if he can't respect that, then he might as well just move out.
Right. So that's why I'm like, sis, do whatever you feel like you need to do, but don't be scared of this nigga regardless. Exactly. Because
like you just said, that the tone of that, well, I'm finna do this because you're,
because you're not getting like, $1,800 in an earned income tax credit. You finna act like this, really?
For this baby that I'm taking care of 85% of the time?
And you should understand because you used to have to physically care for her too. But it's like, you feel like I should just, I shouldn't even, that should mean nothing. My whole day and night, every goddamn day and night is devoted to raising a child. While you out here driving trucks and eating at Burger King and sleeping in hotels.
Confusion.
It just doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, sis, do what feels good to you, but don't feel guilty about it either way. Because that is some goddamn bullshit. I just don't even know. Yeah. Y'all's boyfriends. Okay. All right. Our last question. Ooh. God. It's like four incredibly different experiences. And I just don't know which one to choose.
Whichever's the messiest.
Well, Okay. I believe I've done it.
Okay.
This one comes from a white woman. Her name is... Oh, she said make up a name.
Marsha
says, my husband and I are both white and in our 30s, and after trying for over a year to have kids, even with the help of fertility drugs, it is just not happening. We both decided that rather than pursue IVF, we'd rather adopt and give a kid here in America a loving home. Okay. It's been a lengthy process, but a birth mother has recently selected us, and later this spring we will be bringing home our new baby who, as I'm sure y'all have probably guessed by now, is Black. Did not guess that, but okay.
I promise you I didn't.
We are absolutely over the moon that we will have a baby, and we want to make sure we do everything we can to honor and celebrate our baby's Black culture. We are fortunate in that all my family and husband's family are white folks with sense, meaning that they are not Republicans and did not vote for Trump, as well as our circle of friends. We also fortunately live in a diverse and fairly progressive large city. I feel the exact same way. I know what you're finna say. Yeah. But as quote unquote woke as we might be, I'd love some tips or advice on what we can be doing now and as we raise our baby to make sure we are honoring their Black culture and never appropriating it ourselves. and any other thoughts y'all might have. I have already scheduled a class that a local salon does for single dads and parents of biracial or black kids on how to do hair. Because I already know I don't know none of that. And YouTube will only take me so far. Yeah. Thanks so much, and I love this show. Been listening from the beginning. Marsha.
I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and give you parenting tips because we don't know that.
I can give you black tips, but not like being a mom.
I mean, I feel like the first thing that popped into my head when you were reading it was listen to black people. You know, like, yes, because I feel like so many white people, even well-intentioned ones, miss the mark because you just aren't listening. Right. You kind of understand maybe certain triggers or certain things, and like we still get aggravated by white people who try too hard. Yep. Like you don't have to do all of that. Yes. If you about to be like like Chris's teacher and everybody hates Chris, where she was like wildly racist. God, that woman was a mess. Yes. Anyways.
She was so racist. Even when she was being kind, she always ended it with some racist bullshit.
I think, you know, there are people like the Black accents that we just mentioned today, you know, like maybe making sure to have dolls and books.
That's a good idea.
Puzzles and things that are reflective of the child that you have. I think that's probably a good start. The hair thing is definitely a great check.
Glad you signed up for that.
Me as well.
Yes.
And I think other than that, just love this fucking kid and teach the child right from wrong and how to be a tolerant human being and let the rest of it work itself out. Right. You know, because I don't think that and I'm going again based off of assumption. What I do love is that we have responses from letters like we did this week from people who have a better perspective and can say things. Yeah. But like, I feel like a lot of the specifics in terms of what your child would require as it pertains to their blackness won't be super clear until they're older.
Right. Right. So that is a very good point. Like when you have an infant, the infant has this is nothing to them. But as they get older, it will matter more and more. So if you and your husband don't already have real black friends, not just black people that you call your friends, but like actual black friends, I think y'all definitely need to make sure you get some black community, whether that means switching to a black church or making sure your baby goes to like a majority black daycare or even a black caregiver. Like you have to make sure it's not just, Black History Month. We're going to put up a poster of Martin Luther King Jr. or whatever. Right. Like your kid needs to also be exposed to black people. They need to have black friends. Yeah. They need to be able to, like, I don't know if you watch This Is Us, but at one point, so they adopted a little black boy when their triplet died in the hospital. Mm-hmm. And they brought this little baby home too. And at one point they went to the pool and the black boy wandered away from his white family and went over to the black side of the pool to kick it with the niggas because he finally saw somebody who looks like him. Right. And it was like this white woman had thought she could just keep this black child in this white space and nothing was ever going to happen. It's like, your baby is curious. He can tell he don't look like his brother and sister and mama and daddy. Don't mean he don't love you, but like, what is going on? Right. And so...
And a lot of times when I hear stories about... Black kids that were maybe adopted by a white family or non-black family and grew up in non-black neighborhoods, or they were like the only black kid in a school and stuff like that. Yeah, I've heard like that's where it becomes trickier for them when they're like transitioning into adulthood and puberty self-sufficiency and stuff like that. That's where it becomes more complicated. So I think that's actually a really great piece of advice, to make sure that they have classmates and friends and community that is reflective of them.
Yes, exactly. And the fact that your husband's family and your family is all like not Republican and not Trump voters, as great as that is, that should be the bare goddamn minimum.
I mean, yes, that's absolutely what I was going to say.
I read this great.
Yeah.
But this should
It's not like there aren't horrible white Democrats that would have never voted for Trump. I was going to say,
because the thing is, like, white people with the best intentions are still raised in this racist society with racist ideals, and you will often carry latent racism with you in your speech or your daily work or words or whatever else. So I just think it's so important that like everybody is very aware of what is okay to say and what is not, and people are constantly checking their own biases. And I would say this about, anybody bringing somebody into their family who doesn't fit in with the rest of the family. Like, y'all need to go out of your way to make sure you're not isolating this baby who didn't ask to be here.
Right.
So Good for y'all. I'm glad y'all live in a diverse and progressive large city. It should be easy for you to make some Black friends if you don't already have them, Marsha. But yeah, I'm not going to tell you not to do this. I used to be kind of against interracial adoption, and honestly, because of this,
right?
Because so many white parents don't really take the time to consider the fact that, like, you may raise your child in this all white environment, but they are still Black. And once they leave your house, shit is going to be different. It's going to be different at school. It's going to be different at church. It's going to be different at work, college, whatever else. Yep. When they go out in the world, they don't see them as your little Karen or whatever. So,
right.
So, like, you have to be realistic about it. And I feel like Black parents who are adopting white babies are a lot more realistic about the race differences than the other way around. So as long as you and your husband are committed to, like, not fucking this child up, then I wish y'all the absolute best. Yeah. And good luck, sis, because what I'm not doing is taking in no kids. I can barely take care of my damn self.
Hello.
So best of luck to y'all, but you absolutely need Black real life influences for this child. And to make sure you're always looking out for their best interests. Let's wrap it up there. That's it for the questions this week. Send yours to asktheread@gmail.com. We'll be right back. Hey y'all, I have talked to you so much about Third Love. Their bras were designed with measurements from millions of people and they are made to fit your life. Third Love has over 80 bra sizes, but they know that the only one that really matters to you is yours. I've told y'all about that 24/7 t-shirt bra, my favorite bra of all time. It is absolutely the most comfortable. They have straps that don't slip, tagless labels, and lightweight memory foam cups to mold to your shape. And if you have ginormous, ridiculous titties like I do, then you know that is absolutely priceless. Plus, the returns and exchanges are free and easy with Third Love, thanks to their perfect fit promise. Everybody has 60 days to wear it, wash it, put it to the test, and if you don't love it, just return it, and Third Love will wash it again in case your dirty ass didn't, and donate it to somebody in need. They're like, there's nothing better than that. Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone, so right now they're offering y'all 15% off your first order. Just go to thirdlove.com/read right now to find your perfect fitting bra and to get 15% off your first purchase. Again, thirdlove.com/READ. Get 15% off today. Do something great for your titties because they deserve it. All right, let's move on.
So this episode is also being brought to you by Squarespace. Maybe you have like a super talented artsy kid and you are tired of only showing them off on Facebook and you need to dedicate a whole website to them. Anything you can think of, really. Mm-hmm. Squarespace will make it easier than ever to launch a website all your own where you can sell things, publish content, and much more. They've got great templates for all loads of different designs that are far better than what I was working with in 2006 or whatever, trying my best to blog. Lord heavens. They also got a really great e-commerce functionality. So if you are, launching a store, you can do that. So you'll have analytics that will help you monitor and grow your website. Everything is also optimized for mobile use right out of the box. So you don't have to worry about patching or upgrading or downloading some separate file just for your website to work on a phone or an iPad or something like that. Plus, buying domains is incredibly simple and you will get the help that you need with Squarespace's 24/7 award-winning customer support line. They are empowering millions of people, so go check them out and create something dope.
That's right. I actually use Squarespace to update our website very sporadically, but I do every now and then log in and do it. And also to do my own website because it is so simple. Like literally anybody who wants to build a website can figure it out with Squarespace. And you can get started today. Just go to squarespace.com/read for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch your site, use offer code READ to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Again, squarespace.com/read, offer code READ. Build something great and let us see it. Okay, let's wrap up the show.
So it's time now for the read.
It is. Do you have one this week?
I have two quick things.
Okay.
So I'm going to start by addressing some things that David Schwimmer said in an interview with, I don't remember who the fuck. God. Dave played, I don't even remember what the fuck his character was on Friends. Was he Ross? Chandler?
Yes, that's right.
And then Joey. Okay, so he was Ross.
Yeah, no, Joey was a totally different white man.
No. I'm just trying to remember the names of the three guys.
Oh, yeah. Ross, Joey, and Chandler.
Yeah, so
he was Ross,
okay.
Yes.
So anyway, he was doing an interview about Friends or whatever. I don't know if it was the show's anniversary or some fuck shit. I don't give a fuck. But They were talking about the lack of diversity, and he apparently said, and this is I'm reading on Deadline,
okay,
I don't care. That show was groundbreaking in its time for the way in which it handled so casually sex, protected sex, gay marriage, relationships. You have to look at it from the point of view of what the show was trying to do at the time. I'm the first person to say that maybe something was inappropriate or sensitive, but I feel like my barometer was pretty good at that time. I was already really attuned to social issues and issues of equality. He then goes on to talk about how his character dated an Asian American woman and an African American woman on the show. And then apparently, when discussing a reboot, says something about maybe there should be an all black Friends or an all Asian Friends. But I was well aware of the lack of diversity, and I campaigned for years to have Roth date women of color, as if that has anything.
I mean, great.
So, of course, many people immediately were like, skirt on 22s. It has been well documented and spoken about that Friends was essentially a Living Single ripoff. Like, not just because they are pretty much the same damn show, except Friends got a whole ass white cast,
right?
And Living Single is black.
And better, but yes.
And far better. And came out
way better
successfully a year prior.
Right, that's true.
But they've also spoken in detail about how execs over at Warner Brothers knew of Living Single, stand,
did it on purpose,
regretted not buying it, et cetera, et cetera. And then the next thing you know, here's this white version. So for you to say, and you know what Living Single is because you acknowledged it after Erica Alexander called your ass out, and I'll get to that in a second. But for you to then go, I'm quite certain if we all know about this,
oh Lord,
then you do as well.
That's right.
So for you to be like, oh, maybe there should be a black Friends. Girl, what are you talking about? There was.
Don't know what you mean.
Friends is a white Living Single.
Yes.
So.
Correct.
And again, Living Single is a far better show. And honestly, a couple of times while I was procrastinating this weekend, I was just watching Living Single because I do it all the time. And it's like one of the few sitcoms that I can just every night, let me go through these reruns because they will never not be funny.
Yeah.
Golden Girls is like legit the only other one. And now,
makes sense.
As of late, it has been Community, and The Good Place will be that as well. Because I still would go back and watch Community. But anyways.
I've watched The Good Place finale 3 times already. I tell you, I stand. But anyway.
So yeah, that was annoying. But Erica Alexander tweeted, "Hey David Schwimmer at Friends TV, are you seriously telling me you've never heard of Living Single? We invented the template. You're welcome, bro." Kim Coles also said something. She addressed it on YouTube and on Instagram and things like that. Very classy responses. You know, I will do the dragging, as will many of my black and brown brethren.
The rest of us, yes.
So this is what David Schwimmer issued as a response to Erica Alexander. He said, "Hi, Erica. As you know, I was asked recently in an interview for The Guardian how I felt for the 1,000th time about a reboot of Friends immediately following a conversation about diversity on the show, and so offered up other possibilities for a reimagining of the show today. I didn't mean to imply Living Single hadn't existed or indeed hadn't come before Friends, which I knew it had. Duh. Please remember, in an interview, quotes are often pieced together and taken out of context, and then these quotes are repurposed in other articles by other people who are trying to be provocative." So, quick pause. This is me. What does that have to do with anything that she was talking about?
I was waiting for you to explain it.
He continues, "I was a fan of Living Single, who wasn't, and was not implying Friends was the first of its kind. To my knowledge, Friends, which came out a year later, was inspired by Marta and David's own lives, the series creators, and circle of friends living in New York in their 20s. If it was based on Living Single, you'd have to ask them. It's entirely possible that Warner Brothers and NBC, encouraged by the success of Living Single, gave the Friends pilot a green light." Sweetie, again, this is Fury. It's not that it's possible. It's that it's fact.
Yes.
Like, the girls know. We've talked about it. And
Everybody knows it.
The reason that you can do or say some shit like this is because Friends was the big ass fucking white television show where all of the cast members were making multi-millions an episode and all of this shit.
And still are.
And still do. So And Living Single was the poultry black show that was for the blacks.
Yes, exactly.
So don't even sit up here and play like you don't know what the fuck time it is. And anyways.
Mess.
I'm almost finished. I honestly don't know, but seems likely that...
Is that White Man Serious?
If that's the case, we are all indebted to Living Single for paving the way. You could have just said Living Single clearly paved the way and we're you already made tons of money from this knockoff version.
Don't make sense.
You know what I'm saying? You're good. The least that you could do is acknowledge what the fuck people are talking about.
Yes.
Then he said, and this is my least favorite part.
Okay.
In any event, if my quote was taken out of context, it's hardly in my control. I assure you I meant no disrespect, David. What kind of... You could have kept this. You were better off just not saying anything to us.
I cannot even believe that came out of somebody's iOS press release. Like, I cannot believe this is real. Are you serious? I saw the original statement. I did not see this follow-up.
Living Single is not only a sitcom that paved the way for your show. It paved the way for many an ensemble, grouped friends hanging out, being whatever the fucking quirk. You got the quirky one and you've got the boss one. Like, this show is still so good. It's like every day is a day in a 90s kind of world. For a show that's so 90s. One of the last episodes I watched this past weekend was one where Kyle came home and was like showing off his cell phone.
Oh, yes.
And was talking about how like you can program the numbers in it and you can make it vibrate when it rings.
All
like
that
all
shit,
this
bitch.
basic shit that like kids rattles do today and shit like that. So like there are parts in it that are so fun. But like the subject matter, the stuff that they covered, they absolutely still had subject matter and tone that was prevalent to not only our community, but all of them. So for you to just try to first undermine what that amazing show did, but then double down on it and be like, well, it's possible that everybody goddamn knows that NBC ganked the shit out of Living Single. And if that's the case, cute for y'all. Bitch, you could have kept this shit. So fuck you and fuck everybody else for taking the like concept, the idea of this show that Yvette Lee Bowser and everybody that created, not to mention what T.C. Carton and Queen Latifah and Eric Alexander and Kim Fields and Kim Coles and motherfucking, I'm forgetting something, John Hinton, what they all did to make those characters, because you could have never had nobody else be Regine. You could have never had nobody else be a Maxine Shaw. You could have never had another Sinclair or Overton or Kyle or Khadijah. Like they made those characters the amazing things or people that they are and the ones that we love today. So I'm just grossed.
Okay.
I'm grossed out, I'm skeeved out, and I'm annoyed.
Yes.
Because it's like, we have had to, I remember, I feel like on this show, begging for somebody to put the whole series out for us to stream. Because I owned the only piece of home video that you could get of Living Single, which was the first season on DVD years ago. I bought that shit when I was in college. And I remember thinking, why is it that this is the only piece of Living Single that I can watch on my own, you know, like accord or demand?
Right.
And Hulu, which after this shit tweeted, oh, by the way, they were like standing for Living Single with a Hulu account.
As long as y'all know, every episode right now.
And it has the best theme song that you've ever heard in your life. Like,
I have watched every episode on Hulu, so I fully get it.
Kia had the whole shit on DVD. Or I'm thinking of a different world. I'm sorry, never mind. But anyways, like that show was so hilarious, so like charismatic, so well written, and it's just still a great show that is great today. And that's not to say that Friends ain't a great show for people or whatever, but like, you essentially erased or attempted to erase the legacy of this show that really is the reason that you had a job. Yes. And honestly, if it wasn't for Friends, would you even be discussed today?
Absolutely not. What else has David Schwimmer even been in?
I'm sure loads of things, but the girls know him as Ross.
I cannot name one. So
I can't either, but I'm sure that's not the only thing on his IMDb.
I mean, probably not, but like Friends is it.
Friends is the reason for, I would say, probably most of that cast.
Yeah. The whole it was really based off the creators and the writers' lives, but if there was some inspo from you guys, I wouldn't be shocked. It was like such classic white
past
shit.
that, like living single aside, look at the way that you're addressing diversity in that show and as a whole all together. Because even if living single didn't exist, what you're essentially saying is, bitch, I don't got nothing to do with that. Because I was telling them girls in the 90s and the 2000s to make sure that he dates an Asian girl and a black girl and whatever else. So talk to somebody else about that shit because they ain't got nothing to do with me.
That is not... Is that what you felt like your contribution to an anti-racist society was?
That's why Joaquin Phoenix dragged y'all asses at the BAFTAs and had all you bitches looking like you wanted to die in your seats. That's it right there.
He was like, it's actually the responsibility of the people who benefit from this system to be the ones who tear it down. And the white people was shook.
Yeah. He finished his speech and the girls were like,
okay.
The camera's on you. Clap. The camera is on you. Clap.
Seems wrong, you guys.
Okay, so there's that. And then the only other thing I wanted to mention is by now maybe lots of you have heard this story about my new friend Taylor.
Oh my God, I'm so glad.
Second grade
I was going to talk
girl.
about this. Yes. Taylor and goddamn Lizzie.
Second grade student who was passionately telling the story of theft.
That's right.
The theft that she experienced at the hands of her classmate Lizzie.
That's right.
Now, my girl Taylor does what she needs to do when it comes to school, okay? And it shows in what she was rewarded. Her perfect attendance pencil. This is a special, one-of-a-kind pencil.
It's pink.
Specifically for the folks who have perfect attendance.
Yes.
It is an achievement.
That's
and
right.
it is only for the girls. Okay?
I can't believe we was both going to talk about
who lined up. The moment I saw this video, I said, I'm dragging her. So she told the story about how she came to class.
Yes.
All of a sudden, her perfect attendance pencil is not in the sharpening. Was it the pencil sharpener box?
It's like a little
she
box
left it in a box that is left there for the pencils to be sharpened. And when it came time to claim her pencil, it was not there. Lo and behold, Miss Lizzie, no McGuire, somehow has a perfect attendance pencil. Now, my sis knew that didn't make no damn sense.
Listen, she looked in the box and was like,
weren't you just in Canada, Lizzie? Didn't you miss class? Because you and your fam decided that they wanted to go and ride around the six with their woes. So how do you have a perfect attendance? It doesn't add up.
Make it make sense.
Because besides me having great attendance, I have a great understanding of logic. And this is outside of that. So she rightfully stepped to Lizzie and said, run me my pencil. Lizzie tried to play dumb and act like she didn't know what she was talking about. Even one of their other classmates stepped in and was like, sis,
bitch, you know you was on vacation playing.
Damn motherfucking well that is not your pencil.
You know good and damn well you was just in Toronto. We all, girl, it was just 2 weeks ago. We saw you gone. You know that's Taylor's pencil.
So Taylor says she went to the teacher who said something to her about it's just a pencil.
Yep.
Which I will get to in a second.
This was going to be my entire point.
But
the teacher being like, she didn't do nothing about it.
I have 3 drop-offs to make.
Okay.
The first one, Lizzie, I'm sure you done came off that pencil by now. But sis, don't you ever in your goddamn life try my girl like that again, okay? If you wanted that pink perfect attendance pencil, then you should have had your ass in your seat every day that they had class.
Right.
That's not what you did, okay? And maybe it wasn't your fault that y'all was in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm sure it wasn't just like, hey, girls,
Lizzie said we're going to Canada, therefore we going.
I want to see the Raptors game, so
but
mommy,
you didn't have perfect attendance.
gas up the PJ. That's just that. So maybe next time, if you want a pink pencil, you will have perfect attendance like I, Taylor Garcia, had. Okay? Or you can tell your country plane jetting family to stop by the goddamn Office Depot where they no doubt have an assortment of pencils of all kinds of colors for you to have. But what you're not about to do is steal from me.
That's right.
The person who's been doing what she needed to do. So Lizzie, I hope very well that your mama gave you a very stern talking to. I bet she didn't. But if she did not, she should have. Don't you ever in your life steal nothing from nobody, especially a hard-working black baby like Taylor.
You knew that pink pencil wasn't yours, girl. You knew that.
For the teacher and also Miss Tabitha.
That's right. Thank you. The way they did this little girl pissed me off.
I was so annoyed. You know what I'm saying?
I was really pissed.
Like, I was really annoyed. After this adorable child tells this story that clearly means a lot to her.
Yeah, she is impassioned.
And it should. Like, this is a pencil that was awarded to me for doing well.
Yes.
You don't have the right to just take it because you want it, okay?
Right.
So after all of that happens, she says to the teacher what happens. The teacher responds to her, it's just a pencil. Fuck that. Her mama responds to her after she tells this story, it's just a pencil. Fuck that. It's not that it's just a pencil.
Right.
Maybe it's just a pencil to you because A, it's not your pencil, and B, you understand that pencils cost 5 cents or whatever. But you are invalidating this child's feelings when it comes to something that means a lot to her.
Baby.
She was stolen from.
Yes.
Okay. Not only that, but somebody took something. I'm sure she lived for the fact that the pencil was pink. She got a little pink headband on.
Exactly.
Her sweater is pink.
It
looks like her bag and all that stuff is.
Because it's pink and festive and feisty and
Probably.
the girls want it.
And it's not that that weird yellow brownish color that pencils
and she
usually
said she looked in the box and every other pencil in there was yellow and she was like, the fuck?
I'm sorry. This doesn't add up.
Doesn't make sense.
So I was really annoyed by the fact that they both tried to hit her with it's just a pencil. Like, I'm coming to you because that's what I meant to do in these situations when I have an issue. Mm-hmm. And again, this is a real one. It's not just that, oh, I dropped my fruit snacks on the floor.
Right.
Like, somebody took my pencil that I worked to get and lied about it when we know damn well that you took my pencil.
And writing her name on the paper like she not using my pencil.
First of all, Miss whatever your name is, teacher, why the fuck are you even giving these students perfect attendance pencils if something like this happens and you say it's just a pencil? No, girl, it's my pencil that you gave to me for doing something well.
Yes.
So why do we have any kind of special pencils in this bitch? Why aren't all of our fucking pencils yellow? If this you how you gonna act? So the teacher handled that awfully. Yes. And I'm not judging this woman's motherhood or anything like that, but I don't like when kids come up to you and you hit them with some shit like that. First of all, I don't know this kid and I was ready to ride out to the elementary school.
Me too. Same.
So the fact that the response was, oh, it's just a pencil, to me was aggravating. And I'm sure that that's not going to fuck this kid's future or anything like that. But I think that we have to start paying better attention to how we respond to these things. You could have easily bought your baby 24 pink pencils, you know what I mean, and probably made her day. But it's not that. It's not just that the pencil was pink. Mm-hmm. It's that something was stolen from her that meant something to her.
Right.
And it was given to her for her doing something well. So that annoyed me as well.
Yes.
Third and lastly, I would like to say, fuck you to the Today Show, NBC News, and whoever else undoubtedly referred to this girl's speech as sassy.
Okay.
I don't understand. When we gonna get y'all to understand the negative connotations that come with some of the words or descriptions that y'all use towards Black people and specifically Black women. The show that I've mentioned twice already in this show, Community itself, has an episode where Queen Yvette Nicole Brown is doing a commercial or something, and the dean is trying to get Shirley, her character, to say something, and he's trying to say a word, but he's very clearly struggling with what he wants her to do, and they cut to her and she's like, the word he's searching for is sassy. Yeah. And he better pray he don't find it.
Oh, I think I've seen that clip before. That is so funny.
Come on, girl. Y'all know by this point, this is a child. And it wasn't even sassy. She was just explaining what happened.
Injustice in the world. That's what got me about it. It was like, if the pencil don't mean nothing, if it's just a pencil, then don't make it a goddamn reward. Y'all made it a thing. Grown-ups made the pencil a thing in the first fucking place.
And then when I came to you about it, it didn't matter.
That's so fucked up, man.
What does that do? What does that do for a mind? For the mind of someone who's 4 or 5?
And adults laugh at it and feel like it ain't no big deal. But to a child, no, she's in second grade. She's probably 7. But
okay, I don't know the math show.
But regardless, to a 7, 8-year-old, this is it's a big thing. The school decided people with perfect attendance get these special pink pencils that nobody else can have. So if the pencil doesn't really mean anything and it's okay for Lizzie's ass to take it, then why did y'all make the pencil a big deal?
It's not just that it's a pencil. It's like it's like a representation of something that I did well. You know what I mean? It's not just that it's a pencil. I could write with any one of the pencils in the box or whatever. And sure, this one's pink, so that's going to be extra special too. But you literally gave this to me saying, good job to you. Right. And it was taken from me.
It was it's like when I was in school, we got perfect attendance, like recognition. You would get called up on stage during assembly, or you would get like a certificate or something. It's like, if it don't matter, then why the fuck did I bust my ass to come to school every goddamn day? I could have faked sick and stayed at home with Meemaw like every goddamn body else. Why was I here every day then, teacher, if it didn't matter? That's what got me. I'm like, this is a horrible precedent to set for a child. Oh, this thing that we said mattered and we awarded you for really doesn't mean anything. And so it doesn't matter if somebody else took it. And that came from her teacher and her mama.
It's like, how do you not process that? Like, what the fuck is going on then? Like, I'm so confused. But y'all be worried about Billy Porter wearing a dress on Sesame Street.
Woo.
Anyway, I hate y'all. Moving on. I'm done.
So glad you said it, because I was absolutely going to, and you covered it completely, especially including the whole sassy thing, which I had not even really considered, but it's such an excellent point. They love to make Black girls seem like we're being extra or out of control or just so cute or whatever. And she is fucking cute. But the point is, she's pissed. Y'all took her shit away, and it was an injustice.
Yes.
And justice needs to be fucking served. This wrong needs to be righted. And y'all did her wrong.
Even if it was just her pencil, her regular ass pencil that she brought from home.
That's right.
Another student stole it from her. And they're children, so I'm like, obviously don't handcuff them. But I'm saying, like, the fact that it was like, oh, girl, go sit down. Like, what?
When, like, the teacher should have went over to Lizzie and been like, Lizzie, it looks like you're using a perfect attendance pencil that doesn't belong to you.
Right.
And Lizzie would have said, I liked it because it was pink. Or whatever, because I'm sure that's why Lizzie picked up the goddamn pink pencil. Right. And then she would have had to get a real one, and fucking Taylor would have got her pencil like she was supposed to, and that would have been the end of it. Wouldn't have been nothing for Instagram had you just made it right in the first place. But anyway.
Now, when Taylor hits her 20s and 30s and don't have no time for nobody shit, then she'll really be sassy. And this was wrong with y'all.
This is going to mark a change in young Taylor's life.
Right. Because at this point, it's given, well, why should I give a fuck about anything y'all talking about?
She ain't never going to be friends with a Lizzie again also.
Ever in her life.
Terrible taste you've put in her mouth. But yes, justice for my girl Taylor. And I think that wraps up this week's episode of The Read.
Yep.
Check us out on social media at This Is The Read. Our website is thisistheread.com. Tickets for our upcoming tour this spring at thereadlive.com.
Yep.
So also check out our Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that for the dates and cities that we'll be at. And let's see. Anything else we're supposed to announce this week?
I'm
scrolling real quick. Like, is there?
So.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't. Oh, here it is. Dallas, Houston, LA, Atlanta, Detroit, Chicago. We are heading to your city in March, April, and May. So thereadlive.com for tickets.
Yep.
And I think that's it for me, friend. Any closing remarks from you?
Be safe, everybody. Have a good week and all of that stuff. If there was never a time before to cover your goddamn face when you cough and sneeze,
do it now, bitch.
Bitch, it is at the moment. Because y'all get on my nerves without the corona. So.
Also, coronavirus not caused by the beer. Need y'all to not be that goddamn stupid.
But mine would come with Lyme. Disease. I'm going home. Whatever.
All right, y'all. Happy Black History Month. Bye.